welcome to the Charlotte Motor Speedway in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's a sunny day out here for the Northwest Cup Series, race number 8 in season number 4. It is the Coca-Cola 600. It's 16 laps today, 26 drivers, and it's the longest race of the season. Very excited to see how this race will turn out today. Got a long one ahead of us. It's a clear weather, hot track, and multi-groove racing today. Hot track even though it's the middle of December. Really excited for this long race here today as we get ready for your starting lineup. Back-to-back on pole, it's Martin Truex Jr. next to Brad Keselowski. Behind them, Alex Bowman with his best starting position of the season next to Kevin Harvick. Then Chris Buescher and Kyle Larson, your winner and runner-up last season. 11, Denny Hamlin, and the 9 of Chase Elliott in row number 4. Rounding off your top 10, it's Joey Logano and Chase Briscoe. In row number 6, it is Kyle Busch and Ryan Newman with his best starting position of the season. Ryan Blaney, a championship contender, next to Christopher Bell in row number 7. In row 8, it's two-time winner on the season, Kurt Busch, next to his teammate in the 42, Ross Chastain. Eric Almirola and Eric Jones round up row 9. In row 10, it's William Byron next to Tyler Reddick. In row 11 is Daniel Suarez next to Bubba Wallace. Then Cole Custer next to Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Then in the final row is Austin Dillon and Matt DiBenedetto. Now for ones to watch. Martin Truex Jr. He's been so consistent this season, just wanting that win. Not able to capture it last week as a very dominant performance at the Darlington Raceway once again. We'll see if he can get one done today here in the Coke 600. Then last season's winner of the race, Kyle Larson, he's starting right there in the 7th place position. We'll see how he fares today. 6th place. Then last week's winner, it's Denny Hamlin, who got into a bit of a feud with Chase Elliott, who he is alongside with starting out this race. We'll see if that amounts to anything as the race goes on. But Denny Hamlin and Chase Elliott definitely annoyed with each other. Then Ryan Newman with his best starting position of the season. That team really hoping to capture a win and do something good here. Ryan Newman on his retirement tour this season just wants one more win after an amazing season 1. The Coke 600 will begin soon here on the Northwest Cup Series channel. Green flag's out. It's Martin Truex Jr., your leader into turns 1 and 2. Here comes Keselowski to the inside of Martin Truex Jr. through 3 and 4, and Keselowski's going to lead them into lap number 2. Here comes Truex back on the bottom. Top lane definitely going to be the momentum builder. As you see there, Brad Keselowski gets away with the lead once again, as here comes Buescher on the bottom of the racetrack. One of the only cars I see down there so far, but top lane definitely dominant early on as we fade into night. Here comes Martin Truex Jr. trying to make a run on the bottom lane, but Keselowski gets a run off the top. Keselowski clear for the lead once again as they lead into lap number 4. Here's Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, and Hamlin goes around off the bumper of Elliott, and that's going to be the first yellow of the day on lap 4 of 16. Chase Elliott got into the rear end of Hamlin. Don't know if that was intentional or not, but let's see what it looks like right here. Oh yeah, Elliott slides up the racetrack just a bit, gets into Hamlin with an amazing save. Able to keep that car off the wall. Now remember, these two have been getting into each other time and time again. It started all off in season 3 at Martinsville, where Elliott punted Denny Hamlin out of the way into turn 1. Then Hamlin got him back, and then Elliott wrecked him out. And Hamlin was able to get him back later in the season and won the championship, which was a bit of a stab in the back to Chase Elliott, as he won it over Chase Elliott. And then earlier this season at the NWCS Speedway, Chase Elliott put Hamlin in the wall for the 3rd place position in that race. And then last week at the Darlington Raceway, where Hamlin moved Chase Elliott out of the way, put him in the wall for the win. And back into contact with each other once again here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. 2 championship favorites, Denny Hamlin, your points leader heading into this race. Very interesting, as we're going to get ready to go back green flag racing. And the green flag's back in the air. Keselowski's your leader on lap 6 of 16. Through turns 1 and 2, Truex trying to clear for the second place position, but here comes Buescher to his inside. Martin Truex Jr. does get clear as you see him peeking down just a little bit into the clean air as Buescher is still trying to pass and get clear for the third place position. Here comes Martin Truex Jr. to the inside of Keselowski for the first time tonight, and he clears Keselowski. Oh, and now Keselowski falling back once again. Chris Buescher's passing him. That 2 car might have a problem as he slips up the racetrack and Buescher gets by. Here comes Kyle Larson. He's going to try to make his way under Keselowski as well, as Martin Truex Jr. is still clear for the lead, but Buescher hunting him down. Here comes Larson for second place. A great number 5 machine there as Keselowski falls back to the 6th place position as we are on lap 9 of 16. Almost 3 wide for a moment. Here comes Bowman to the bottom of the racetrack on the 4 car. Oh, trouble, William Byron hard in the outside wall. Oh, he's going to clip it again. Hard in the outside wall for William Byron, and the tire flies off that machine. Yellow is out once again here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. And oh, just looks like a little bit of a misjudgment from the 12 car of Ryan Blaney, and hard in the outside wall for William Byron. And then back into it as he overcorrected, or that steering column shoved up to the right. Looked like he might have been trying to keep it off of hitting Ryan Blaney and collecting other cars, but wow. Huge impact into the outside wall, and then back up into the track again. And a really vicious crash for William Byron on the back straightaway here at Charlotte. Byron's taken some of the hardest hits this season, and he was finally running in the top 10 again. It's been really disappointing last 2 seasons for this 24 team, as William Byron won at Atlanta in Season 1. He won at Talladega in Season 2, proved that he could be a winner here in the Northwest Cup Series, but no luck for him as of late. Lots of DNFs across the board and barely any top 10s. He doesn't even have points yet this season. If you think about that, though, you had this crash at Darlington, which was a really heavy impact to the inside wall, and then his crash at Bristol, which Hamlin was upset about. Hamlin thought that 2-lap cars shouldn't be racing like that in front of the leaders. And Byron took a really massive wreck at Bristol as well, but a hard wreck once again here for William Byron in the Northwest Cup Series, as we're going to get ready to go back green flag racing. Green flag's back in the air, lap 11 of 16. Oh, Kevin Harvick loose. Oh, there goes Chris Buescher, overcorrects into the outside wall, and he's going to collect half the field. Oh, and a huge wreck there on lap 11 of 16 as we were just past the halfway mark in this race. And Harvick with an amazing save, and then Buescher overcorrects right into Ryan Blaney's path, clips Chase Elliott. Elliott's out of the race as well. And oh, wow, Chris Buescher got hit again by Joey Logano. That car implodes. Kurt Busch also got damaged there, it looks like, as well. And Chris Buescher, bad angle for him. Got loose and then whipped it back to the right on top of the 12 car. And you see the 20 of Christopher Bell. And your points leader, Hamlin, who spun earlier, was just making his way back up through traffic. And he's out of this race as well. That could have been a lot worse if Kevin Harvick was the one to spin. And the 9 car goes around it. Oh, look at Keselowski. That car exploded. I don't know if that was coincidence or if he hit the Buescher car. Let's see again. Look where Keselowski is. He's right behind Buescher. Maybe he tapped the front end a bit, and watch this car implode on the bottom of the racetrack. That car just lights up and then slams into the outside wall, barely off camera. And look at DiBenedetto up on top of the 20 car of Christopher Bell. And Ryan Newman's also out of this race. Wow. Huge overcorrection for the 17 car. And there's Logano and there's Kurt Busch out of it as well. Reddick able to get on the on the brake there, luckily. And there's Logano out of the race. Kurt's also out of it. Some great camera shots here as we're going to get ready for pit stops for the first time this season. This race is long enough where teams are opting to take some tires and take a gamble. So let's see what happens as we get onto pit road. And wow, look at that shot right there. Chris Buescher on his side. And there's Keselowski. You can see what the impact was for him. And on a pit road, it's Martin Truex Jr., 4 tires and a can of Sunoco Racing Fuel. His car feels really great today. He's led almost all of the laps, except for Keselowski leading a few. Martin Truex Jr. hoping to go out with a win today as they're a bit slow on the left side. That car's back out and away. And Kyle Larson beat him off. And Kevin Harvick has taken 2 tires. And that number 1 pit stall gets him out and away first. 2 cars stay out. That's Reddick and Suarez as we get ready to go back green. Green flags back in the air. It's Tyler Reddick, your leader. Remember, he took no tires. And here comes Harvick on the 2 tires. Trying to get past Reddick. Here comes Martin Truex Jr. as well. Lap 13 of 16. Still 4 laps to go. Now 3 laps to go as Chase Briscoe clears by as well. Here comes Martin Truex Jr. He's going to try to make a run on the bottom of the racetrack. 4 tires versus 2. But Harvick's going to pull off the top lane. Top lane, dominant lane all racetrack around. And here comes Cole Custer 3 wide to the bottom on the RCR teammates. As Martin Truex Jr. trying to hunt down Kevin Harvick once again. Oh, he slips up a bit. He's into Harvick and they're both in the outside wall. They're both out of it. Martin Truex Jr. and Kevin Harvick, your race leaders, racing for the win. Both out of it with 2 laps to go. And that's going to send us into overtime here at the Coke 600 at Charlotte Motor Speedway as Martin Truex Jr. just slipped up the racetrack there and got into Harvick. Really odd. You normally don't see that out of either of these 2 drivers. These 2 both tied for 6 wins. You never see a mistake out of one of these guys, and it looked like it was Martin Truex Jr.'s day. 4 tires. He was going to gap the field once he got past Harvick. But now it's going to send us into overtime with, it looks like, Chase Briscoe, your leader. And yes, indeed, it's Chase Briscoe next to his teammate Cole Custer, who hasn't won in a very long time since Season 1. Cole Custer was a really dominant car in Season 1. He won at the NSS Speedway, and then he finished second in a photo finish at Langley and at Talladega, which were his back-to-back. So he had probably the most consistent record on that series. It was like a first, second, and then an 8th, and then onward. A great season for him. Ended up 7th in points at the end of it. But Martin Truex Jr. and Kevin Harvick crash out here in the Coke 600 at Charlotte, as we're going to get ready to go back green for overtime. Green flag back in the air. It's Chase Briscoe and Cole Custer. Here comes Custer on the outside lane. Here comes Briscoe back to the bottom of the racetrack. But here comes Custer with a run on the outside. He's going to get clear of Briscoe. Heading into turns 3 and 4. Briscoe tries to fight back on the bottom. Larson falling back. It's going to be between these 2. White flag in the air here in the Coke 600. Here comes Briscoe. He's going to take a look to the bottom of the racetrack. Sends it in. He's going to get a side draft on the 41, his teammate. He's going to throw it into the corner. He misses it. Here comes Cole Custer to the bottom of the racetrack. And he's going to win the Coke 600 in season number 4. Cole Custer out of nowhere from the back to the front. As you see how he gets it done right there, his teammate Briscoe throws it into the corner, misses the turn, and Cole Custer is going to win the Coke 600 in season number 4. It has been 44 races since Cole Custer has won. As you see, Cole Custer wins at Charlotte over his teammate. He's going to get to burn it down for the first time since the North Serpent Speedway in season number 1. Cole Custer gets it done here in the Coke 600. Cole Custer wins his 2nd Northwest Cup Series race ever. And the only lap he led was the last one right there. Top 5, Cole Custer, Chase Briscoe, Kyle Larson, Alex Bowman, and Kyle Busch. For your top 5, great points for Briscoe, Larson, and Busch. Those guys are all in that top 10 battle for the championship spot, as it's only the top 8, actually, who can point their way in. As you see your top 10 in points, Hamlin, he's locked into the championship race. Kevin Harvick with 50, he's not safe. And neither is no one behind him. Briscoe with 45, Blaney with 43, Kyle Busch with 40, just barely out of the championship four. Kurt Busch with 39, Truex with 37. Chase Elliott with 32, he needs a win to make it in, and so does Larson. Logano definitely out of it, though. Going to be interesting next week at Talladega for your cutoff race. We'll see who can do well. We know that Elliott's a good driver there, and Kurt Busch, your most recent Super Speedway winner, he won the race at Daytona for the 500 opening the season. Chase Briscoe also has a chance at possibly getting a win next week. He won at Atlanta. Next race is Talladega. Going to be really exciting for that one. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been your commentator, Northwest. And we do hope you enjoyed this race. Thank you guys so much for watching, and this has been the Northwest Cup Series.